We asked 847 women over the age of 50 a very simple, direct question. When you see a man over 60, what are the specific physical traits that instantly catch your attention? What makes you look twice? And I'm not talking about his wallet, his car, or the watch on his wrist. I'm talking about his physical reality. The answers we received were not just surprising. They completely overturn what most men believe about aging and attraction. If you are sitting there thinking the answer is broad shoulders, a flat stomach, or a full head of hair, you are operating on an outdated playbook. In fact, the third answer on this list shocked me personally. And the fourth body part, it is something 91% of men completely overlook, yet it screams volumes about your personal hygiene and self-worth from 20 feet away. Most men only realize this matters when the date is already going badly, or when they've already been dismissed as just another old guy. Today, we are going deep into reality. I am going to walk you through all 6 critical parts. Yes, we added a 6th bonus factor that is crucial. We will discuss why they matter specifically after 60, and exactly what women are decoding when they look at you. This isn't about vanity, this is about respect. The 5th point might seem incredibly obvious on the surface, but the psychological reason behind it will completely shift how you approach your daily life. This is why your physical structure speaks loudly about the kind of man you are. Let's get straight to it. Body part number 5 is your posture, or more accurately, your skeletal alignment. I know. You hear posture and you think about your mother telling you to sit up straight at the dinner table. It doesn't sound like a body part in the traditional sense, but stay with me, because this is the very first filter women use to judge you before they even focus on your face. 72% of the women we spoke to said a man's posture reveals more about his everyday lifestyle, his mental health, and his spirit than his gym routine ever could. Imagine this scenario, c'est-à-dire you're standing in line at a coffee shop, or you're stepping out of your car at the grocery store. You aren't saying a word, but women are watching. They are quietly observing your overall structure. What do they see? Are your shoulders rolled forward, collapsing your chest? Is your head jutting out in front of your body like you're searching for something on the ground? Does your entire physical presence look like it is folding inward on itself? Here is the brutal truth about aging. After 60, gravity becomes your enemy. Posture declines rapidly if you don't fight it. Women understand biology. They know you aren't 25 anymore. They aren't comparing you to the fitness model on the magazine cover. Instead, they're asking a much deeper subconscious question. Is this man still engaged in the battle of life, or has he surrendered? That is the signal you are sending. It is the difference between vitality and defeat. I've seen men who are technically in great shape. They hit the gym, they have broad shoulders, they have defined arms, but they walk through the world with a defeated spine. Their head hangs low, their upper back is rounded into a permanent curve, their whole presence quietly whispers, I am tired, I am done, I am just waiting for the end. And then, compare that to the average man. Maybe he's carrying 10 extra pounds. Maybe he doesn't have biceps that stretch his sleeves, but he stands vertically. Imagine a string pulling the top of his head toward the sky. His chin is parallel to the floor. His chest is open to the world. He moves with a fluid, upright stability that says he still owns the space around him. Which one of these 2 men commands respect? Which one gets the second look? It creates a massive shift in perception. The quick, instinctive message women receive is whether you are still a capable, dangerous, relevant man, or if you have mentally and physically checked out. At 65 or 70, you cannot hide behind the elasticity of youth. Your structure is your message, and the good news. This is not genetic. You don't need to be 6 feet tall. You don't need a specific bone structure. This is purely about awareness. It is about making the conscious choice to fight gravity every single hour of the day. When you finish watching this, I want you to find a mirror. Look at yourself from the side. Are your ears aligned with your shoulders, or are they 3 inches forward? Pull your shoulders back and down. Put them in your back pockets, so to speak. Lift your sternum. It feels strange at first, almost arrogant, but to the outside world, it just looks like confidence. It looks like a man who is ready for whatever comes next. Now, let's move to something just as critical. but often ignored. Body part number 4 is your hands. I am not talking about the size of your hands or how strong your grip is, though we will get to strength later. I am talking about the condition, the texture, and the grooming of your hands. In our survey, women repeatedly referred to hands as the truth tellers. Why? Because a man can fake a lot of things. You can buy a tailored jacket to hide a soft midsection. You can wear a hat to cover a receding hairline. You can wear expensive glasses to look more intellectual. But your hands, they are naked. They are out there in every interaction. When you hand a credit card to a cashier, when you hold a menu at dinner, when you gesture while telling a story, your hands are center stage. After 60, the hands show age faster than almost any other part of the body. The skin thins, the veins pop, age spots appear. This is natural, and women aren't judging you for being 60. They expect you to have the hands of a 60-year-old. But the distinction lies in grooming versus neglect. This is where most men fail. They think hand care is feminine. They think, I'm a man, my hands should look rough. There is a massive difference between rugged and repulsive. Let's be honest, I have been on dates, and I have heard stories from countless women where a man's hands were the single reason the attraction died instantly. Imagine sitting across from a man. He is charming, he's dressed well, but then he reaches for his wine glass. His fingernails are jagged and bitten. There is dirt trapped under the rim of the nail. His cuticles are ragged, bleeding, or completely overgrown. The skin is so dry it looks like lizard scale. What does that say about him? It says he doesn't pay attention to details. It says he lacks self-care. And the subconscious mind of a woman asks, if he can't take 60 seconds to clip his nails, what else is he neglecting in his life? His health, his home, his finances. Now, I want to clarify something important. This is not about having soft, baby smooth hands. In fact, working hands are incredibly attractive to women. Calluses that come from lifting weights, working in the garden, building furniture, or fixing an engine. Those are badges of honor. They signal capability. They signal a man who can build and protect. But there is a line. A working hand is strong and calloused, but the nails are trimmed short. They are clean. The skin is moisturized, not cracking and bleeding. It shows you use your hands, but you also respect them. On the flip side, be careful not to go too far. Hands that are overly manicured, shiny, buffed, perfectly oval nails that look better than the woman's can actually be a turn-off. It signals vanity. It might suggest you're trying too hard, or that you're afraid to get your hands dirty. The sweet spot is clean capability. Buy a nail brush. Use it. Buy a simple hand lotion and use it once a day. Keep your nails short and square. It takes 2 minutes a week, but the return on investment is massive when you touch a woman's hand or her back. You want the texture to be firm but not abrasive. You want the visual to be clean. It's a small detail, but at this stage in life, the details are everything. Moving on to body part number 3, this one is directly connected to your perceived biological health. An impressive 84% of women rated this feature as more important than the size of your biceps. Body part number 3 is your neck and jawline. Before you roll your eyes and say, great, another thing I can't fix without surgery. Stop, listen to me. This is not about having the razor-sharp jawline of a Hollywood actor in his 30s. Women are realistic. We know that skin loses elasticity. We know that gravity pulls things down. We know about the turkey neck. The goal here is not perfection. The goal is definition. Why does this matter so much? Because the face is the focal point of human communication. When someone looks at you, they look at your eyes and your mouth. Your jawline is the frame for that picture. A weak, undefined jawline that melts directly into the neck without separation signals poor health, high body fat, and generally low testosterone. Conversely, a jawline that is visible even if it has some wrinkles, even if the skin isn't tight, signals strength. It signals that you are maintaining a healthy weight. Let's talk about the science for a second. The neck is often where men store stubborn, visceral fat as they age. If you are carrying an extra 20 or 30 pounds, a lot of it is sitting right there under your chin. This blurs the distinction between your face and your body. It makes you look like a thumb, but here is the empowering part. You can change this. You do not need surgery as you need to manage your body fat. I have seen men drop just 10 pounds, 5 kilos, and suddenly their face transforms. The bone structure reappears. They look 10 years younger. Not because their wrinkles are gone, but because their frame is back. Furthermore, you need to strengthen the muscles of the neck. Most men ignore their neck in the gym, but a thick but strong neck is a primal signal of masculinity. It implies you're hard to knock out. It implies durability. You don't need to do crazy wrestler bridges, but engaging in compound movements, deadlifts, farmers carries. Overhead presses, these exercises force your neck and traps to stabilize your head. Over time, this builds the muscles that support the skin. Also, pay attention to your tongue posture. It sounds strange, but keeping your tongue pressed against the roof of your mouth, rather than letting it rest at the bottom, tightens the area under the chin instantly. It's a habit. And let's not forget style. If your neck is showing signs of aging, stop wearing stretched out shirts with loose collars. They frame the neck poorly, and switch to collared shirts. A stiff collar acts like a frame, giving you the structure that nature might be taking away. It sharpens your appearance instantly. Remember, at 60, you have an advantage younger men don't. You have a ruggedness, a gravitas in your face that only comes with time. Don't hide it behind a layer of excess weight. Reveal the structure underneath. Now, let's talk about something surprisingly attractive. Body part number 2 is your forearms. You might be thinking, forearms? Really not my chest, not my abs? Yes, forearms. Think about social situations. Unless you are at the beach, your chest and abs are covered, but your forearms, they are constantly exposed. You roll up your dress shirt sleeves at a restaurant. You wear a polo shirt on the golf course. You reach out to open a door. Women see your forearms all the time, and biologically, we interpret them in a very specific way. Here is the mistake most men make. They go to the gym and they obsess over the mirror muscles. They do endless bicep curls. They want that big peak on their upper arm, but often they neglect the lower arm. To a woman, big biceps can sometimes look purely cosmetic, but a thick, vascular, strong forearm that signals functional strength. It signals that this man actually does things. It triggers a primal safety mechanism in the female brain. It says this man can lift heavy objects. This man can open the jar I can't open. This man can hold on tight. This man can carry the luggage without getting winded. It is the visual representation of utility. And the best part, the forearms are one of the few muscle groups that do not atrophy quickly with age. In fact, old man strength is a real phenomenon. Grip strength is largely neurological and tendon-based. You can have a grip like a vice well into your 80s if you use your hands. So, how do you capitalize on this? Stop using straps for every lift at the gym. Pick up heavy things. Carry the groceries in one trip not because you're lazy, but because it's a workout. Do farmers' walks literally just picking up heavy dumbbells and walking until your grip fails? And psychologically, there is something very intimate about the forearm. When you are sitting at dinner and you lean forward, resting your forearms on the table, rolling up your sleeves to just below the elbow, that is a power move. It is casual, but dominant. It shows you are relaxed, but ready. Veins are also a factor here. Vascularity, the visible veins in your arms, is generally seen as a sign of a strong cardiovascular system and low body fat. It implies your blood is pumping efficiently. You don't want to look like a road map, but a few prominent veins running down the forearm are a sign of vitality that women absolutely notice. So, don't hide your arms, roll up the sleeves, show the world that you are still capable of doing the heavy lifting. Now, we have arrived at body part number 1. This is the feature that overrides everything else. You could have the best suit, strong hands, and great posture. But if this part is wrong, nothing else works. Body part number 1 is your eyes and your facial expression. I am not talking about eye colour, I am talking about the light behind the eyes. I am talking about what your resting face communicates to the world. There is a look that many men develop after 60. I call it the 1,000-yard stare of discontent. It's a look of low-level irritation. It's the face of a man who is annoyed by the modern world, annoyed by the noise, annoyed by the changes in society. His brow is permanently furrowed. His eyes are dull. He looks past people, not at them. Women read this instantly, and they interpret it as grumpy old man. It is the ultimate attraction killer. It screams rigidity. It screams that you are difficult to be around. Contrast that with the man who has the spark. He has seen it all. He has been through the wars. He has lost people. He has lost money. He has felt pain. But instead of bitterness, his eyes show amusement. He looks at the world with a slight twinkle. He makes eye contact real. Solid eye contact, not to intimidate, but to connect. When he looks at a woman, he isn't staring hungrily, but he isn't looking away nervously either. He holds her gaze with a calm, steady warmth that says, "I see you." This is the mirror of self-respect. It is the moment you stop shrinking. It is the moment you stop apologizing for your age. You have the intelligence, or you have the wisdom, you have the life experience. Why are you walking around looking like you're apologizing for being here? Or worse, looking like you hate being here? Your eyes should convey stoic optimism. Stoicism isn't about having no emotion. It's about being unshakable. It's the look that says, "I can handle this," whether the waiter drops the food, or the traffic is bad, or a crisis happens, your eyes remain calm. That calmness is incredibly magnetic to women, who are often more emotionally reactive. They look to you to be the rock. If your eyes are darting around the room, scanning for threats or looking for approval, you look weak. If your eyes are fixed, steady, and warm, you look like a king. Start practicing this. When you walk into a room, smile with your eyes first. It's a micro-expression. It relaxes the muscles around your temples. It makes you look approachable but dangerous enough to be respected. Now, earlier I mentioned a bonus factor, a sixth element. The original survey had 5. But as we dug deeper into the interviews, a sixth theme kept coming up. It wasn't a body part you can touch, but it is a physical vibration you produce. Factor number 6 is your voice and your cadence. You can have the posture of a general and the hands of a craftsman, but if you open your mouth and squeak or rush your words, the illusion shatters. After 60, many men's voices change. The vocal cords can weaken, leading to a thinner, reedier sound, or psychologically, men start to feel less relevant, so they start mumbling. They speak quickly, hoping to get their point across before someone interrupts them. They swallow their words. This signals low status. Women pay attention to the command signal. This is not about being loud. In fact, the most powerful man in the room is often the quietest. It is about resonance and pacing. Think about the men you respect. Think about movie stars in their 60s and 70s, Sam Elliott, Morgan Freeman, and so Sean Connery. What do they have in common? They do not rush. They take their time. They are comfortable with silences. They speak from the diaphragm, not the throat. When you speak from the throat, your voice is higher and more anxious. When you speak from the diaphragm, from your belly, your voice has that deep, rich rumble. That rumble is a biological signal of high testosterone and high confidence. You can train this. It's not just genetics. Before you speak, take a breath into your stomach. Slow down your rate of speech by 20%. Most men speak too fast because they are afraid of losing the listener's attention. Paradoxically, when you speak slower, people listen more intently. They lean in. You force them to wait for your words, which establishes you as the prize. Don't let your sentences trail off at the end. Don't turn statements into questions by raising your pitch at the end of a sentence like that. Finish your sentences with a downward inflection, a period, a definitive store. This combination voice, eyes, forearms, jaw, hands, and posture creates a complete package. It creates a presence. Let's be real for a moment. You might be thinking, I'm 65, Ilyas. Is it really worth the effort to fix my posture and trim my nails and practice speaking slowly? Yes, it is, because the alternative is invisibility. The alternative is becoming just another background character in someone else's movie. You are not done. In fact, you're in a unique position of power. You have the resources and the freedom that 20-year-olds dream of. You have the knowledge that 40-year-olds are still trying to learn. All you're missing is the physical presentation to match that internal value. 85% of men your age have already given up. They have put on the sweatpants. They have let the shoulders slump. They have decided that their prime is behind them. This makes it incredibly easy for you to stand out. The bar is low. If you simply stand tall, groom your hands, dress with intention, and walk with a sense of purpose. You're already in the top 10% of men your age. You don't need to be a bodybuilder, you just need to be a man who respects himself. So here is my challenge to you. Pick one of these things today, just one. Maybe it's the posture check in the mirror. Maybe it's buying that nail kit. Maybe it's taking a breath before you speak. Start there. Watch how the world reacts to you. Watch how women look at you differently. But more importantly, watch how you feel about yourself. Age is just a number, but class, dignity, and discipline, those are choices. Make the right one. If you found value in this, if you are ready to refuse to be average, make sure you subscribe. We are building a community of men who are getting better with age, not older. Click that notification bell. We have a video coming up on the style mistakes that age you instantly, and you do not want to miss it. Stand tall, gentlemen. I'll see you in the next one.